We're live.
We're live, boys and girls. The market has changed. We're looking at stock levels, and it is frightening what we're seeing at the moment. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about stock levels, Northern Beaches, what it means to you, even if you're not on the Northern Beaches. Stay tuned.
Good evening.
How are you, Al?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good, buddy. Good.
It's been a big Monday.
It's been a big day.
It
We had
has.
12 properties come on the market today, which was a whopper.
Massive. Biggest day all year.
Biggest day of all year, and probably even for last year. So a lot of stock coming on for 1 week.
Crazy.
It was good. Just to qualify this today, I'm a real estate agent, Northern Beaches of Sydney. Our Northern Beach, been in the business a couple of years, So we wanted to talk about what we're seeing on the ground.
Yeah. So I think, it's in the heading here as well. The main thing we're going to probably touch on tonight is the amount of stock that the Northern Beaches has right now and how it can affect the buyer and the seller on the Northern Beaches in today's market.
Yep. We're also going to show you a tool on how to use that, because not a lot of agents, even people out there, know actually how to find this information to see it as a barometer how the market's going. Now, as a team, a sales team on the Northern Beaches, we have a group called
2025 Hunters.
And 2025, the stock list group one.
Yes, 2026 stock list.
Yes.
Stock list, which we kind of update nearly every week to every Monday when we do our team meetings for all the new properties that come on, and just kind of put in the chat there for all the sales team to know how many properties are live on realestate.com that week. And what was the number we found out this morning, Mark?
It was scary.
It was.
So that's it. We have a thing called stock list. There it is. So the whole team's in there, and it's stock list Northern Beaches, and it says 362 for rent, and today it said for sale 1,005.
Crazy numbers.
So it's broken the 4 digits for this time of year, unprecedented. We haven't seen this much stock in over 5 years in this month of the year. Yeah. So there's a lot of stock now. For buyers, that is great news. For sellers, that is bad news. Looking at that, depending on how you look at it. I always say it doesn't matter whether you're trading in a hot market or a cold market. It's what you're off to next. Because if you're trading in the same market, you're just swapping one asset out for the other, irrelevant to a hot or cold market.
Exactly right. And I suppose can kind of touch on as well, the number was 1,005 this morning. Looking at that in comparison to this time last year, right about 700.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the trending median number of properties all year. You would say dipped off towards the end of the year around Christmas time.
Absolutely.
Is quite common with people pulling off over that period.
Why? Can you show us why we are using the metric on realestate.com.au? I'm going to explain that, why Al's pulling it up. We're going to show you how on your phone you can actually look at how many properties are on the market in your area. So in your suburb, it's different. It's not a huge metric. So if I told you DY, that's great. If I told you Colliery or Manly or whatever. But with realestate.com.au, what they allow you to do is choose actually the precinct of where all the locality where your property is. So our whole region here is called Northern Beaches. That goes from Palm Beach almost up to Chatswood and across to the Spit Bridge. Now, the great thing with realestate.com is you can write in that. Instead of writing a suburb, you can write in a region, i.e. Eastern Suburbs, i.e. Northern Beaches. Now, if you write like this, we're going to show you.
So I've just got it on the realestate.com app here. And then at the top there, it's got a search, and you can see I've already got Northern Beaches, New South Wales.
Can't try something crazy.
Yeah.
Can you plug in? Try this. Work? Not work.
Not work.
Not work.
Not work.
We're still here though, but not work.
Not work.
Okay, I'll go back to the phone. We can do it your way. think you have to refresh.
There we go. We're
There
back.
we go.
So yeah, just top search bar, Northern Beaches, and I've selected not surrounding suburbs. So as you can see, the white line on the screen here just gets in all the properties across the Northern Beaches. And as you can see, if we go filters, sorry, buy. So that's all of the properties across Northern Beaches for sale.
And there's the magic number on the bottom.
Well, now as of this afternoon, 966.
Wow. 966, guys. That's huge.
Massive numbers.
It's come down.
It had since
from
this
the
morning.
1,005
Yeah.
this morning.
Yeah.
So
So
50 properties in a day.
that's crazy.
But it's a really good thing as a buyer, a consumer, or as a seller, if you know how much stock. So let me put it this way: it happens with watches, it happens with cars. Anything there's one of one is exotic, is expensive. If it's one of a million, it's like, yeah, whatever, like a Casio watch. So I think with stock, anything anywhere, it's relevant. And just as Al was saying, with referencing those numbers, I think when you're around 300, 400, 500 properties for sale in Northern Beaches, that's really low stock. It's a really pumping property market. And when you get up towards 1,200, 1,100, 1,000, then you've got a lot of stock on the market. Sellers are going to start discounting. Buyers are going to do well. So interesting, guys. That's like hopefully we'll taught you something today on Northern Beaches on how to look up your stock levels. And this is wherever you are in Sydney. You'll start to get a barometer and take a screenshot, because sometimes you'll forget.
Yeah.
You go, was that this much a month ago or 3 months ago? We started a WhatsApp group, so it helps. All of this information and bringing this down to the ground for a first home buyer. Good news.
Good news. Good news. So I'd say, yeah, for a buyer, full stop, let alone a first home buyer, it gives them the opportunity to look at comparisons, and it gives them the opportunity to compare one property with another. It allows them to kind of pinpoint where the value should be for a property, and it allows them to kind of see if a certain property could be overpriced compared to the other stock that's on the market at the moment. Whereas, so say sitting at 1,000 units that are around 1 million, your stock level is going to be a lot higher in comparison to if it was around 600, 700. You nearly double the amount of stock, which means double the amount of comparables.
Which means longer days on market. Properties are sticking around longer. They're just staying on for longer, which is, rather than selling in the very quick 10, 15 days and maybe 20, 30 days, maybe they're just taking twice as long to sell. That's why there's more.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting market. Now, what I also wanted to be optimistic about was to show you a little bit about some new information that we had at hand that we've been sharing across our team today. So people often say to me, look, I know what's happening yesterday. I know what's happening last month. I know what's happening next year. But what's your spirit animal? No. What's your what do you reckon is going to happen in the future? Where are we going with this? Like, is property going to be good, bad, ugly? What do you reckon? I love this, and this is sent to me by a friend of mine, Tim Lawless. Very, very clever man. Now, that's how units have performed, the lower line, pink. And that's how houses have performed, the upper line, in 40 years of property. In 40 years of property. So generally every 10 years we've doubled, and you can see how profitable and strong that property market is. Now, that is just so encouraging for me. And I think to myself, you know what, we've had a nice little ride. It's doing well. It's leveled out a little bit. And I think you can, if you're a first home buyer, an investor, an owner occupier, you can really feel confident with our property market when you see that sort of data. Yeah.
And I suppose I can really just touch on the past few years. Since pretty much COVID, it's kind of been on that trajectory upwards.
Yeah.
Houses and units have performed outstanding within the property market on the Northern Beaches here. But I suppose the question that I had for you, Mark, is how have you seen that trend go over your 30 plus years of experience within real estate? And would you what would your comment be on stock levels like this? Should vendors be worried? I know we touched on buyers before, but should vendors be worried with stock levels at the moment?
Look, I think with vendors, this is an easier market to trade for a buyer, because generally a vendor selling is going to become a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been times in the market where it's almost violent you rip out very quickly selling your property, and you have to rip in very quickly to buy something, or you've missed the market. You can lose hundreds of thousands by not getting in quickly. This is more of a calm market. It's an easier market to trade for a seller, for a buyer. So I think it's probably good with the airs out a little bit. Now, most people selling, I would say 80 or 90% of people are doing another property transaction with that money.
Yeah.
So it's sort of relative. So even if you, even if you're selling for not an extreme high result, you're not buying for an extreme high result. So it's sort of, I guess it's relative.
A bit of give and take, you would say, with on that aspect. Yeah, and look, I think as you just touched on it, it'd be a good market for both. And as well as a buyer has options to buy your property, you then also have options to search for your next home. So I think, couldn't have said it better myself. It's probably an even market for both a buyer and a seller.
It's interesting times.
Very interesting.
Do you know what I mean? You watch the news and you think, you're looking at these petrol prices, and I said the other day in our breakfast at Novak, I said, I don't understand why everyone's worrying about these petrol prices. No one knows their interest rate. Like, if I asked 4 out of 5 people what their interest rate is, 4 out of 5 would say, look, I'm not exactly sure what my interest rate is. But if I ask 4 out of 5 people, 5 out of 5 people what they're paying for fuel, I think you'll find
a lot of them would know.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So I think, it's there's a lot of a change, but some of it's just so in your face with news, and you're like, oh no, I'm feeling up, I'm feeling down. But I think generally in times of turbulence or instability, people seek stability. So they move towards property because it's so stable. You're not ripping in and out of it quickly.
Yeah. And then, I suppose as well, for an investment point of view, people will go to something like that. But I suppose it's probably a good point to plug ourselves. If anyone's kind of unsure about what they should do, or they would like some further information, I know we just gave everyone a bit of a teaser tonight. With the news here, I suppose our office doors are always open nearly till 8 o'clock every night. Come and get a coffee on the house.
Absolutely. What do you reckon about rates tomorrow? Well, before we go,
they're predicting go up.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What do you reckon?
I can't see it going up another 0.25.
I don't reckon it's going to go up.
I don't think it will go up that high. Maybe 0.05, if that. I think they might try and even it out, especially as you just touch on the petrol prices, everything going up, cost of living. They might try and even that out a little bit.
You'd think there'd be some consideration towards it. But that's it, guys. So that's your stock levels on Northern Beaches, how to read it. Rentals?
Low, about 360.
Yeah.
Across the
beaches. Those stock levels for rentals? We spoke about sales, residential, but what about rentals?
Yes, they're about 360, and your vacancy rates are pretty at an all-time low as well. I had a look at that last week. I think they're about 2 to 3%, something like that, across the broader Sydney region, which is quite low. So I mean, it's a tough rental market out there. I speak to the property management team in here fairly often, and that's kind of where I started my real estate journey, was in property management. And it's always been a pretty tough market over the past couple of years, but I think at the moment now it's getting quite competitive. We're seeing a lot of people and a lot of properties not last very long.
I don't think in my 30-year plus career I've seen rentals this hot. It's hot.
The prices achieved as well is outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, the Havana stock that we are selling at the moment, the 2 bedrooms in there are averaging about $1,100 to $1,200 a week.
Really?
And the one better with a car space, it's about $800 a week, which is incredible pricing. Big coin.
Big coin. It's huge coin. Thank you, Legend. Guys, hope you're having a great evening out there, and hopefully we helped you. If you do have anything you want us to answer or do a story on, write to us, let us know. A lot of this stuff that we talk about on air is generated from people's requests. So hopefully that can help you out there if you can think of anything, or just give us a call.
Perfect.
Thanks, Al.
Sounds good. Thank you.
See you guys. Cheers.